When I was little, I always wanted to join journalism club. There was a point when I really wanted to be a reporter when I grew up, until I realized that I was probably too nice for that job. I realized I wanted to join journalism club when I was reading the 5th Dork Diaries book, and thought that the whole thing with the advice column in the newspaper would be so much fun. 6th grade was my first year in middle school, and apparently the school had a journalism club, or at least a newspaper that sent out a couple of publications, but I had no idea how to join. And then COVID hit, and the middle school journalism club was wiped out, so I had to wait until high school to try to join journalism. When applying for classes in high school, I had to take Chinese, AP Human Geography, Math, English, Biology, but I still had room in my schedule. I immediately knew what I was doing. I signed up for creative writing and journalism, and those are my first 2 periods ever in high school. First period was creative writing, which would have been a fun class if it wasn't all poetry. I'll definitely make a video on my poetry from that class because it's awesome, but the teacher taught nothing. He was great though, because he was a guitarist in some rock band and had the most awesome stories ever. But journalism class was my second period, and I was in the class with my best friend at the time. She was one of those people that everyone for some reason liked, and I'm pretty sure was the most popular person in middle school. So of course the teacher straight up asked her if she wanted to be president of the journalism club. There were several other people in the class who weren't freshmen, 2 other girls who said that they wanted to be journalists, and me literally just sitting next to my friend doing the same amount of work as her, and she just got offered the position. I was pretty salty about this because even though I wouldn't want to be president, there should have been some sort of way to sort out who would be the best president rather than just handing out the position to my friend just cause she was herself. This was the first journalism club in 6 years at my school, so I joined, even though I was pretty nervous of my friend in the president position. It didn't take very long for her to start dictating the journalism club, telling me what to write, even though I don't want to write about wrestling and lacrosse, okay? Not only did my friend dictate the journalism club, but her family also took over. Her dad was a graphic designer. Actually, funny story, apparently he worked with my uncle, so I told my uncle that I was friends with his coworker's daughter, and he knew exactly who I was talking about and made this face. My friend's family was weird and my uncle knew it. I'm no longer friends with her, by the way. But her dad took over the graphic design and her mom took over the editing because apparently she's a professional editor, which I seriously doubt after seeing her editing. Every time I would turn in an article, I would get it sent back to me looking like an entirely different person wrote it. And that's because somebody else did. Editing is supposed to be fixing mistakes and improving the paper, not rewriting it. As I was writing this, I remembered another thing that my friend dictated. We decided as a group that a good title for our publication would be the Tiger Tribune, and even spent a whole meeting discussing it. But the next week, she comes in and announces that the title of our paper would be the Bengal Bite. She didn't discuss it with us at all. She just decided it herself because our school mascot was a Bengal tiger and she thought the name had to be more specific. By far the worst part of journalism club was when my friend decided that the whole club needed sweaters. Exactly like the sweaters the SBOs have, but they were going to be even better, which meant that they were like hand knit or something, which also meant that they were more expensive. How expensive? $200 to $250. Everyone in the club was signing up to get one and I felt pressured to get one. So I talked with my parents and decided that I wasn't going to get one because that's a pretty stupid investment. I even sent a message to one of the people in the journalism club about whether or not she was buying a sweater because she also didn't sign her name on the little paper thingy. She wasn't, and that was the first time we had talked to each other. Now we're really good friends. And I'm glad I didn't order a sweater because the next year, everyone who had bought a sweater left the journalism club and the sweaters themselves were ugly. There was a big letter B on it and it looked like clown hair. So at this point, I was completely done with the club. I was dreading joining journalism club next year, but luckily I had joined a class that apparently would take up the break period journalism club took place in. So I told my friend that I wouldn't be able to join journalism club because of that class. Turns out the class wouldn't actually take up the break period, but I didn't tell her that. So I went an entire year without journalism, which was really nice, especially since the club had died out anyways and there were only like 4 members left. But the year afterward, my other friend contacted me and told me that he was taking over the journalism club. So I rejoined the journalism club and I'm still in it right now. It's been going pretty well so far, and I'm the sports editor for some reason. So apparently the reason that my other friend had to take over the president position at the journalism club is because my other friend, who was previously president, decided that she was too busy for the journalism club, so she just left, and she was thinking, oh, well, if I just leave, then I'll just take down the journalism club with me. And my friend was like, heck no you won't, because I'll take over. So yeah, maybe journalism club has fallen apart since the time that I made this video. I'm making this in February of 2025, and I'll post it probably sometime in possibly 2026. If this is out in 2026, then that's pretty cool. So anyway, maybe I'll make an update video if journalism club falls apart again, but it seems pretty good right now. Bye!